The sacred halls of the Vatican buzzed with a unique energy. Today was the day Pope Leo XIV would make his first major announcement regarding sainthood, convening his inaugural ordinary consistory. 8 souls, deemed blessed, stood on the precipice of universal veneration. 5 men, 3 women, diverse lives woven into the rich tapestry of the Church. An archbishop, his life a testament to spiritual leadership. 3 nuns, their days consecrated to service and prayer. 4 lay people, ordinary lives made extraordinary by faith. 2 of them, José Gregorio Hernandez, the doctor of the poor, and Carmen Rendiles, the founder of the Servants of Jesus, would become the first saints ever from Venezuela, a profound moment for Latin American Catholicism. But as the list of names prepared for announcement scrolled in the minds of those gathered, a stark absence loomed. A name that, in recent years, had captured the imagination of millions, especially the young. The name of Carlo Acutis was not on the list of blesseds whose canonization dates would be set today. This was not the first time such an unexpected turn had occurred in the journey of the young digital evangelist. His path to sainthood had always seemed to defy convention. The story began earlier, in May 2024. Pope Francis, with a wave of recognition, had officially attributed a second miracle to Carlo Acutis. For a blessed, this was the critical final step before canonization. The Catholic world, especially Carlo's fervent devotees, prepared for a swift announcement. Yet, just 2 months later, on June 1, 2024, a consistory was held. It was the traditional solemn assembly where such momentous dates were typically proclaimed. But when the announcements concluded, Carlo Acutis' name remained uncalled. No date was set. A quiet shock rippled through the Church, followed by confusion. Why the delay? The Vatican offered no explanation, leaving a void of questions. Then, 4 months later, came the truly unexpected. Pope Francis, acting with an authority that bypassed all usual protocols, announced Carlo Acutis' canonization date during a general audience. No consistory, no prior hint. The date was set for April 27, 2025, strategically coinciding with the Jubilee of Adolescence, a major event that would draw countless young pilgrims to Rome. The path seemed clear, his universal recognition imminent. But destiny, or perhaps divine will, intervened in a way no one could have foreseen. The sudden passing of Pope Francis cast the Church into a period of sede vacante, the time without a pope. This interregnum, governed by strict canonical law, effectively froze all major papal appointments and ceremonies. The ceremony for Carlo Acutis, meticulously planned and eagerly anticipated, had to be postponed indefinitely. The meticulously set date of April 27, 2025, dissolved, a casualty of unforeseen circumstances. Since that moment, no new date had been announced for Carlo Acutis. And here we are, today, June 13, 2025, at Pope Leo XIV's first consistory, and his name is absent from the list. To truly grasp the significance of these delays, one must understand the Church's ancient and exacting process for declaring saints. It is a journey often spanning decades, even centuries, designed for rigorous verification and universal acclamation. The process moves through distinct stages: servant of God, venerable, recognizing heroic virtue, and then blessed, which requires one verified miracle after death. Carlo Acutis reached this stage in October 2020. The final step, canonization, declaring a person a saint for universal veneration, typically requires a second, verified miracle after beatification. This second miracle for Carlo Acutis was formally recognized by Pope Francis in May 2024. The formal announcement of canonization dates, by long-standing tradition, takes place during a consistory. It is within this solemn assembly of cardinals, convened by the Pope, that the candidates are formally proposed, the cardinals' consent is received, and the dates for the grand ceremonies are publicly declared. This is precisely why Pope Leo XIV's June 13th consistory is so crucial. It is the designated forum for such proclamations. Consider the case of Pier Giorgio Frassati, another blessed. His canonization date, August 3rd, was also announced by Pope Francis during the same general audience as Carlo Acutis, again without a prior consistory. That date is already known. However, according to established protocol, this date still requires official confirmation during a consistory. This is why Pier Giorgio Frassati's name appears on Pope Leo XIV's list for June 13th, not for an announcement of a new date, but for a formal, procedural ratification. For Pier Giorgio, the date is not expected to change. This distinction highlights the ongoing importance of the consistory. Even when a previous papal announcement has occurred, the question persists. A quiet echo in the sacred halls. Why the continued delay for Carlo Acutis? If a second miracle is recognized, and even a date previously set by a pope, what could possibly be holding back the universal recognition of a young man who has so profoundly inspired millions, especially among the youth? The answer likely resides in the profound, often mysterious, realm of papal discretion and the elusive concept of divine timing. While the recognition of miracles is a procedural and theological verification, the actual date of canonization is ultimately a pastoral decision, a prerogative of the reigning pontiff. Pope Leo XIV, in these early months of his pontificate, might be exercising his own pastoral judgment, discerning the most opportune moment for such a significant event. Several theories quietly circulate. Perhaps Pope Leo XIV wishes to preside over Carlo Acutis's canonization at a specific time and place that uniquely marks his own pontificate, rather than simply fulfilling a date set by his predecessor. The Jubilee of Adolescence, while important, was intrinsically linked to Pope Francis's vision for the Jubilee year. Pope Leo might envision an even grander, or differently themed moment that aligns more fully with his own spiritual priorities and the direction he feels called to set for the universal church. Another possibility suggests the Vatican seeks to avoid any impression of rushing the canonization, despite the immense popular demand. While Carlo's undeniable appeal, his youth, and his pioneering digital apostolate are compelling, ensuring that the process is perceived as thoroughly rigorous, even when fast-tracked by papal prerogative, remains paramount for the Church's credibility. The unexpected death of Pope Francis and the subsequent sede vacante period naturally disrupted many established plans, and Pope Leo XIV may simply be working through a backlog or meticulously re-evaluating the schedule in a careful and methodical manner, prioritizing long-term spiritual impact. Furthermore, the very nature of Carlo Acutis's evangelization, his pioneering embrace of the internet and digital tools for faith, while profoundly inspiring, might also present unique pastoral considerations for the Vatican. The Church is constantly discerning how to best engage with the digital world and how to present its timeless message in contemporary contexts. Perhaps Pope Leo XIV desires to frame Carlo's sainthood in a way that truly maximizes its impact on the Church's ongoing dialogue with contemporary culture and its future generations. And so, the faithful wait. Millions across the globe, particularly young people who find deep resonance in Carlo Acutis's relatable life and profound faith, continue their prayers for his canonization. His absence from the June 13th list, while initially a source of disappointment for some, has paradoxically amplified the anticipation, transforming his forthcoming sainthood into an even greater event. a deeply personal spiritual journey for many. The story of Carlo Acutis's path to sainthood has been marked by a series of surprises, unexpected delays, and unprecedented papal interventions. From the initial recognition of his miracle, to the consistory omission, to Pope Francis's direct, protocol-bypassing announcement, and now the sede vacante postponement, and Pope Leo XIV's current consistory list, without his name, his journey has been a profound lesson in divine timing and the virtue of human patience. The formal confirmation of Pier Giorgio Frassati's canonization date on June 13th serves as a poignant reminder that the consistory often ratifies what has already been announced. But for Carlo Acutis, it seems the full surprising story is still very much unfolding. What will be the ultimate timing for Carlo Acutis? Will Pope Leo XIV announce it at a later consistory? Or perhaps, echoing Pope Francis's earlier precedent, during a significant general audience or another major papal event? The Church, in its ancient wisdom, moves with a sense of eternal time, often surprising its faithful with its profound decisions. The delay, though frustrating for some, also allows for further spiritual reflection on Carlo's remarkable life and enduring legacy. It builds anticipation and ensures that when his canonization eventually occurs, it will be met with even greater jubilation, a deeper understanding of his universal significance, and a powerful recognition of his role as a saint for the digital age. He remains a powerful intercessor, a digital apostle, and a vibrant testament to the enduring truth that holiness is indeed possible in every era, even in our modern world of screens and global networks. Sound of the music swelling to a final, grand, and hopeful conclusion, then fading to silence. The stage is set for June 13th, a day of great joy for 8 future saints. But the enduring mystery surrounding Carlo Acutis's canonization reminds us that in the vast, intricate tapestry of sainthood, some threads weave through extraordinary, unexpected paths, ultimately leading us to a greater understanding of God's plan and the eternal journey of faith. The Church awaits the next chapter, guided by the Holy Spirit, in the unbroken line of saints.